Now we turn to that airline pilot coming forward to confess and sound an alarm, saying that he and his other pilot were supposed to be at the controls of a jumbo jet, but they were both so tired they fell asleep. Their story tonight raising new concern about the stress on pilots in the air. And here's ABC's David Curley.
Remarkably, the two pilots, already severely fatigued, asleep at the same time. That's right, a British Airbus A330, which can carry more than 300 passengers, on autopilot with both pilots sleeping. We only know of this because one of the pilots self-reported the incident of 6 weeks ago, admitting the two pilots had only 5 hours sleep over 2 nights because of long shifts. Even though British pilots are allowed to take naps, that country's Pilots Association says its government is too complacent when it comes to pilot fatigue.
Hi, my name is Connor Newsom, and I'm a member of the Cuddle Buddies. This is my second semester at SBCC, and I'm studying environmental science and business.
Hi, my name is Jacob Birch, and I'm from Sweden, and I'm a member of Cuddle Buddies. This is my second semester here at SBCC, and I'm studying business management.
Hi, my name is Nicolas Frey. I'm from France and I'm a member of the Cuddle Buddies. This is my second semester at SBCC College and I'm studying business management.
We think of pilots as living a very glamorous lifestyle. Is that true?
Yes and no. The life as a pilot has its benefits but also downsides. We spend a lot of time from home. So it's hard trying to maintain the social life back home. It's also very tiring with the early starts and late finishes and the different time zones.
And how many hours do you spend away from your home each month?
Most of us pilots fly an average of 75 hours a month and work an additional 75 hours a month non-flying duties. We have a very variable schedule, working several days on and several days off.
And what is required to become a pilot?
We pilots must complete with some of the strictest employment requirements of all industry workers, including extensive training, rigid physical and health conditions, and continuous retraining and testing.
As a pilot, you have a huge responsibility with all the people's lives in your hands. How do you feel about that?
The mental stress of having people's lives in our hands can be very tiring. We have to react quick if something goes wrong.
One of the most glamorous jobs you could imagine, airline pilot, of course. You get to travel, wear cool uniforms, and sometimes you make a lot of money.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? At least to start. Local 12 News reporter Jeff Hirsch and photographer Timmy Bear show us the person flying your plane may be making close to fast food wages.
That's right. At least at the beginning, there's not much difference pay-wise between this
Flight 730 to 5 with you, 2.5 for 6 hours.
and this.
Good morning.
Hi there. Sling burgers for minimum wage, $7.95 an hour in Ohio, for example, and you make about $16,500 a year. Fly a multi-million-dollar complex piece of machinery where you're responsible for dozens of lives, including your own.
This side departure to contact line maintain 7000.
And the average guaranteed starting salary at a regional airline, where most airline pilots begin, is, according to the Government Accountability Office, $21,600 a year for first officers, the co-pilot. A salary so low, there is actually at the regionals a pilot shortage.
Some of the major cons of becoming a commercial airline pilot would be the very high cost of becoming a pilot versus the very low pay you will earn for the first 5 years or more. The years it requires of working flying jobs that you probably don't want to work in order to accrue sufficient experience to be competitive for a commercial airline job. And spending roughly 50% of your time away from home. Having to work odd hours, either very early or very late. Having to work a lot of weekends and a lot of holidays. And having to work shifts that are typically 10 to 14 hours long.
The years spent flying down popular routes until you have enough seniority to bid for the better ones. The average pilot at a major airline does not see the captaincy until age 50 or so. Work is number one, and family, friends, and interest comes as number two.
Having to live a pretty strict lifestyle. One DUI or showing up with a hangover and your career may be over. Showing up late to work more than a few times and you will be looking for a new job. Job instability, layoffs, furloughs, and airline failures are always in the course. If you have to start over at a new company, you go to the bottom of the seniority and pay scale regardless of previous experience. No guarantee that you will ever make it to the big leagues. For civilians trained pilots, the odds are about 50-50.
How's it going, guys? My name is Lucas Zuckerman, and I'm part of the Cuddle Buddies group. Pilot plus fatigue equals danger, dead tired. Have you ever gone on a road trip and driven a long distance? Well, I have, and it can get quite exhausting. Luckily, on a road trip, you can switch drivers with your buddy or pull over on the side of the street and take a nap. Pilots are not always as lucky and have to spend hours and hours at a time flying up to a few hundred passengers from one side of the world to the other. An estimated 1,550 deaths and 71,000 injuries per year are due to fatigued driving in vehicles. Fatigue pilots is just as serious, if not even more serious. This is exactly why I do not understand why we allow pilots to carry on living extremely stressful lives with low income wages. They deserve better. Thank you very much.